guys, welcome back to my channel. So I kind of look like shit today, to be honest, but I'm really not, I really don't care. So I wanted to sit down and do another kind of talk video because the last one I did was on my health and I have a really big update for that. So I wanted to make this video because I started the conversation and I'm pretty much ending it at this point. So yeah, the issue was my gallbladder and I did a video on that. Not a lot of people watched it, which is fine, but I wanted to make this video for the few people that did and knew about what was going on. So if you didn't know, I had something called gallbladder sludge, which is kind of like, they described it as a sand texture in my gallbladder, and I really had no idea I didn't know a lot about it, and probably not a lot of people do, but what I've gathered from the doctors and people that have told me is how your gallbladder works is your kidney produces bile and it is stored in your gallbladder. So when you eat and you're digesting food, your gallbladder will kind of compress and squirt out bile to help break down the food you're eating and digest it. So what was happening with my gallbladder is eventually the sludge was coming up and blocking my gallbladder from squirting out that bile, and that was causing me a lot of pain. So that is what was happening, and I was really confused as to why some days I could eat you know, one thing, but the next day I would eat it and then I would get an attack, and it kind of started to make sense that it was over a period of time that the sludge moved up and blocked. So it was what I was eating that was kind of probably pushing it up more or aggravating it to the sludge to move around, but eventually, like over a week, it would end up getting blocked. It would block my gallbladder, and that's why I would get so much pain. So almost 2 weeks ago now, it was the weekend, and it was a long weekend, and I think it was Sunday night, I started having excruciating pain, and it lasted for hours and hours, and it was kind of the longest it's lasted, and I ended up throwing up from it, which had happened like a week previous as well, that I threw up from the pain, and I don't know what the cause of me throwing up it was, but it happened, and I was like, I don't know. So me being me, I'm home alone. I didn't tell anyone that I was in excruciating pain. I just let it slide. I'm like, I have to just push through this and deal with it in the summertime. So I dealt with the pain all night, and then I woke up the next day and I had to babysit all day, which was fine. I knew about, I was good. So I was still feeling pretty nauseous on Monday. So this was the 20th of May. I was feeling pretty nauseous, and I ate some cereal in the morning, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have ate that, so I just kind of laid low for a while. So I didn't really eat anything for a few hours, and then when I was babysitting, we had a dinner, and I just had a little bit. I had some like potatoes and turkey and some corn, but that was about it. I didn't have gravy or anything like that. And then around 7 o'clock, while I was still babysitting, the pain came back, the exact same one that came the night before. And I was like, dang it, like what am I doing so wrong? Like what the heck? So I was like, I don't know. So I pushed through the rest of the night. I was finished around 8:30, and I texted my dad. I was like, please come pick me up. I don't feel good, and I just wanted to let him know that, so that he would actually come to get me, you know, at a decent time. Not thinking that he would be like, oh my god. So he texted me back. He's like, do we need to go to the ER? And I was like, no, like, I can't go to the ER. I can't miss time. I just finished half of my practicum for school, and on Tuesday I was starting a new practicum for 4 weeks. I was like, I can't afford to miss that and screw up my entire school year. So I was like, no. And then when he picked me up, he was like, listen, how bad is your pain? And I was like, it's fine. Like, obviously I'm in pain, but I'm fine. Like, I'll be fine. And he was like, no, like, how bad is it? How long has it been? And I told him that it was last night, and I threw up, and he was like, we're going to the ER right now. I bawled my entire way to the hospital. And at this point, it was so much, like, more about stress and not even about the pain. I was just so stressed because I was like, you know, and I was just bawling. I was so emotional. I was like, if I go to the hospital and I have to stay there, like, I'm gonna miss my practicum. I'm gonna fail this year. I can't go to school next year. Like, I just, like, was freaking out. So I got to the hospital. They got me in a room fairly quickly compared to, like, the last time I was there. We waited for hours and hours. So I got in, and they took blood work, and the doctor came in and was like, so you're having, you know, some problems with your gallbladder still, and have you been referred to a specialist? And I was like, yeah, I'm still waiting for the call. I haven't even met the specialist yet. And he's like, yeah, that can kind of take a while. So honestly, I really thought they were just gonna be like, girl, you gotta deal with the pain and wait for the specialist to call you. So I honestly thought they were gonna do the same thing they did last time, just run some tests and send me home. But they hooked me up to IV and all that. They did blood work, blah blah. They came back and they were like, so ultimately the best thing would be to take it out. So, and I was like, well, yeah, like, that's probably what's gonna happen. And then he was like, so before you leave the hospital, like, the goal is to take it out. And I was like, and I started crying because I was like, oh my god. But I've never dealt with any, like, physical health problems. I have a lot of mental health issues, but it's different. I actually would prefer to deal with physical, because, like, now I'm healing and it's gonna go away and I'm gonna be fine, but I'm still a sad being, you know? So I would prefer to deal with physical health sometimes. But anyways, that's a whole different thing. I don't want to, like, offend anyone, because I know so many people are going through so many hardships and physically ill, and, like, there's so many things out there, and cancer and shit that just ruins people's lives, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So that's not what I'm trying to say. But anyways, sidetracked. Yeah, so I was pretty like shocked. I really didn't expect them to decide to keep me and take it out. So I got admitted to the hospital. They admitted me Monday night. I got a room that night, which was really surprising. So I got a floor, I got a room, and they said, so Tuesday they let me eat dinner and see how, forgot the whole point. So what they ended up telling me is that what was happening was the sludge that was blocking my gallbladder possibly got out of my gallbladder and ended up blocking my pancreas, giving me pancreatitis. So that's where all the nausea and, like, pain was coming from, that was lasting a long time, because it was blocking my pancreas, and then that was creating my pancreas to be inflamed. So that was kind of the trigger for them to say, no, we're going to do it now, and we're not going to wait for her to get, you know, an appointment with a specialist and go through that process, because your pancreas is a really important organ, and they didn't want to even think about chancing it. So that was the whole process behind deciding that, I think. So, and by the way, I think it's amazing that they found that out through just blood work. That was the only test they ran on me, and that's what they came back with, and I think that's like crazy. But yeah, so I got a room Tuesday. I kind of ate a little bit. They let me have supper to see if that would bug me, and then I was fine. And then at Tuesday on midnight, they said you can't eat anything, you can't drink, blah, 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 because Wednesday we will plan to have surgery. So Wednesday came, I met with the doctor, I signed away my life, not really. Yeah, I signed papers, and she went through the whole surgery with me, and I ended up waiting all day Wednesday, and I didn't even get into surgery. So I was on a list, and I was 4th on the list, but they didn't get to me that night. So on Thursday, I was first on the list, and I got in at around, I think it was like 6 p.m. because they don't start the list that I was on until like the evening. So yeah, on Thursday I had surgery. I had my gallbladder removed. It's gone. Bye, bitch. I'm not sad to see you go. So I've never had surgery before. I've never like really been in the hospital, so it was a completely new experience for me. They wheeled me down to surgery. I met the surgeon, and they went over stuff with me, and then the anesthesiologist, I think they're called, went over like anesthetics with me, or whatever you call it, you know, the stuff that makes you pass out. And yeah, just a bunch of people were telling me stuff, I don't even know. And then I laid on this freaking tiny ass bed. They strapped my legs to it so I didn't fall off. I breathed in oxygen for a little bit, and then I was gone. And I don't remember the surgery, obviously, because I was sleeping. And then I woke up in the recovery room. I was hella groggy. I was like, my mouth is dry. I was like freaking out because like my mouth was so dry, so they gave me water and stuff. There was a code white, and I was like, it wasn't me. I was just really, I don't know, I was on some, I was really sarcastic, and like, anyways, so then I don't remember a lot like getting out of recovery and into my room. I don't remember going through the elevator or any of that, actually, now that I think about it. I don't remember like the process of leaving the recovery room and then I was just in my room all of a sudden, you know? So yeah, and then they checked my vitals constantly. One of the biggest things I found like immediately after was my throat hurt so bad, because they had a tube down there to help me breathe, and it was so disgusting. I don't know, like the taste of like whatever, I don't know, it was so disgusting. And like I kept like having like acid reflux of this like disgustingness like coming up, so I like couldn't sleep. And like every 10 minutes I was like waking up to this like shit in my throat, and it just was disgusting. My throat hurt for quite a few days, but yeah. So it's been a week and a day now that I've had my gallbladder removed. I've had no issues with eating or anything. I'm hella off the bandwagon with eating healthy. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'll get back on it. I swear, I'm gonna promise myself that, and I'm gonna say it in this video so I can hold myself accountable. I will get back on it, and I will be stronger than ever. Right now I have fucking a box of cinnamon rolls and a bag of Doritos over there, so yeah, I'm gonna eat those. But after all this junk is gone, watch out. So I do wanna, I don't know if this is weird, but I kind of wanna show my scars because, or they're still like healing, but I had whatever this is called. So literally you can barely tell. I have one here, one right there, and one right there, and then one by the belly button. The one by my belly button is the most like ugly looking, if you want to say that. But they honestly don't look like much, so they're healing pretty well, and I'm really impressed with that. So yeah. So yeah, that's basically the end of the video. I started the conversation of my gallbladder issues and I wanted to end it, and that was really quick, honestly. I only made that video like recently, so it was a few months of pain and some torture to my body, but now I'm healing and I feel like everything is going to be okay. And yeah, I'm really grateful that I was able to get that procedure done. I'm very thankful that I live in a country that where I'm able to go and get those services and not come home with a big pile of debt bills. I am Canadian, I do live in Canada, and I was able to go to the ER, I was able to get a surgery and get the care that I needed, and I was able to come home and not think about a single penny that I owed to anybody. And I just want to express my gratitude to the people that work in that field and my country for giving me the ability to these services. So I don't know. Yeah, so that's basically it. My gallbladder issues are pretty much done. I pray that I don't have any issues. Of course, there's always some risk and side effects that may occur, but so far so good. And of course, I will always update you guys if there's any changes to that. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm so thankful to have you guys on my side, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!